All right, so we're back into another Dragon Ball Supercard game video. Today, it's a special day. We got another deck, another one from the Las Vegas store regional, and I'm not alone. Hey, what's up, Mr. Joshua? Do I have that right? Am I correct there? What's going on? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm hyped. Just got off top,
Nice.
Cold.
Awesome. All right. Well, you're from Arizona. We're talking about that. And anything else you want to say to introduce yourself?
Yeah, man. So, what's it called? I want to say Arizona is gonna be a growing state in terms of competitiveness. We have a good group out there. So, I just want to let you guys know. I'm trying to put Arizona on the map for sure. And also, for all my untapped buddies, I'm also known as Arctic Ghost.
Nice. I have definitely seen you and probably played you, if anything. But yeah, we'll talk about that later. But the first thing is the list. So this is the list that you took into the store regional, right? You went into top 8. You're 7th, am I right? Oh my god, it's been a long day. 6th. Okay, you're 6th. And this is the entire list, pretty standard as far as King Cole goes, as far as the field cards, as far as field spells. Have a lot of cool text in here, like the Chilled, got the Blue Impulse, obviously got the Bardock Overwhelm, right? And this SCR choice is underrated. I love it, and as you can see, as the price seems like it's going up a little bit, but you can talk about that. And a couple dormants in the side, one in the main, a lot of cool stuff here. But you can talk about whatever you want here.
Sounds good, man. So just gonna go over the deck real quickly. Like King Cole, I'd say it's like a green toolbox deck because like the leader, as you know, kind of gets everything off its fields.
Mm-hmm.
So like for example, you have New Ruler, which kind of just digs your top 3, helps with consistency. You have Invasion, which can give the leader 10k double strike, and then like it has some unique unison marker removal. And then there's the Onslaught, which helps with weenie removal, and also playing free play like the dual attack Frieza, which is probably or Berry Blue.
Right.
And then after that, I think the leader itself is also very strong. So it has something called, like, I'd say a 1-2 power punch. So like if you have the unison and then you have the leader, like you kind of have access to just overwhelming your opponent with 2 big swings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the unison
like
gets triple and then the leader gets double, right?
Yeah, correct. So people you can be like baiting negates, and that's where like the Boo SCR comes into play. So like the biggest play I did all weekend was swing unison, bait negate, and then just Boo SCR, and then it was just like GG from there.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
and
right,
is that one of the reasons why you chose this one over like Heroines or Kai or anything else like that?
Well, actually, I didn't have I could have gone Kai, but the thing is, like, I think the deck also just needs to be able to just kill in a 1-2 kind of way.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to just drag off the game. You just want to just when you're ready to kill, you just go for it. And that Boo SR just helps you seal the deal.
For sure.
Because as you see the list, I don't have any real counterplay to Topo or floodgate negates. So you need to be able to just stop those and just go for game.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I mean, we have, like I said, we have some cool tanks. Obviously, Homicidal Clones. We have the one of the Paragus Sacrifice. Was that enough for you?
Yeah. So because of New Ruler, which kind of just I don't know if you guys know the card, but just tops 3 at any mono green card, which is dumb.
Yeah.
You can filter through your deck pretty quickly. So okay. and some matchups you won't need some of the cards. Mm-hmm. So that's why you can put them in the bottom. Don't have to worry about it. I have a dead card in my hand if you're searching. So then Paragus helps you with keeping your hand size. Blue Impulse. Blue Impulse, by the way, super underrated card. I don't know if you guys know the weakness of the deck, and one of them is a which is Kai SCR. And I'll tell you right now, I blew up someone's Kai SCR. It was just nasty.
Wait, what? How do you do that?
Well, they played Kai SCR on my turn, and then I just Blue Impulse.
Oh, right? I see. Okay, because of Blue Impulse. Oh, okay, guys, gotcha. And while you have the green unison, which you're gonna have to, I mean, that's kind of a good core of the deck, right? That's a 1 cost, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, it costs 1 if you have a green unison in play.
Nice. Cool. That's really cool. And then the shields for barrier removal, I'm guessing.
Yep. And then sometimes it can be used as an aggro push because it can play tokens.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like the Zamasu, which is just like hand control. I mean,
Yeah.
I think every can at least run one. And then
Yeah.
the dormant, which is there for like hyper aggro. I mean, like you have the free negates already, but I think having that extra negate or like kind of just 2 swings and then negate their last swing just to
Mm-hmm.
stop their turn is necessary, I feel.
For sure. Gotcha. Okay. And we also have the one of Bardock Unison. Was that for King Vegeta?
The paternal on the side, yeah. So that card, actually, it was more for like Mecha Frieza.
Hmm.
So if they try to like combo like the Zamasu and
Yeah.
Aegis, you just rip it, or War Cries, you just rip it. So like you kind of just
Gotcha.
steal their kind of their power plays, and that deck can really kill you if they have a board and they drop Annihilation. So the way you can just prevent them from having a board, and that's what kind of also Blue Impulse helps. So when they try to play on your turn, you just blow up their board, and now like if they even drop Annihilation, usually they can't kill you because they don't have a board.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. So we got all these other cards. You kind of went through. Max Power Kamehameha, I'm guessing, as well as the Big Amoras, probably with or for big or Dark Broly and like bigger Go Tall decks, right?
Yep.
And fully
then,
unleashed.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And then there's like Vegeta, as you can see. It's kind of like a meme. It's like, oh, can we blow up Baby's field card? Like, can we go first and just like make sure that they can't play any more like of their like negates for 1 less?
Yeah.
And I actually got it off once, but it wasn't against Baby. It was actually against King Vegeta.
I figured as much. I talked to someone earlier, and they were like, if you tactical their field card, it's a bad day. It's definitely a bad day.
Yeah, for sure. And then like that overall on Bardock, yeah, it's just like another way to just like clear Dark Broly. You just clear their board, you big more them, and then like they have to just like hit you with their leader and something else, but that's manageable usually.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. And of course, the last thing is the cooler. I think that's the counterplay that gets reduced. Was that useful at all?
Yes, against like King Vegeta or like kind of like weenie decks. So on their turn, once you have like your free negates and you're clearing their board, and then when they try to just like start playing weenies, you just keep coolering them.
Nice.
And don't let them establish anything.
Okay, cool. All right. That's nice. Overall, pretty cool. Very techy here and there. Answers a lot of different things. Green is a interesting color right now, but at least King Cold is definitely giving some representation, so I'm glad. Is there anything that you wanted to change as far as this goes after that tournament, or maybe in the future?
I'd say probably add another Zamasu, because like I think against blue or decks that just can't get rid of it, it just helps you steamroll the matchup by ruining their hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, I didn't see a lot of Cell Surge, so I didn't really respect that matchup by adding like Deburras. But I think in a large event, I probably might add that card because you can lose hand control.
Yeah.
If they're moving like your Berry Blues and Pegasus.
For sure.
But
okay.
yeah, everything else seemed pretty fine.
Cool. All right, that kind of brings us to why this deck in general. So, did you come about it from seeing it like previously in like other tournaments, or did you was this one of the first decks you played, or what? Why this over other decks, I should say?
This might be a little funny, but we have like two daddies in our community in AZ, and one of them was like, "Hey, like, check out this deck, right?" And I don't own any of these cards, so I was just borrowing the deck and testing. I was like, "Oh, this is kind of fun," and I was seeing like the known players in the community, like Brian Samuel and like Devin Butterworth, like playing the deck and like talking about it. I was like, this is interesting. And so like when I saw how consistent and like powerful it was, I thought it could be a very good contender. Like,
cool.
And I still believe some people might not know how exactly to play around this deck or combat it. So that's why I feel it was a good choice.
It's just so much text, man. Like every time I play against it, I'm like, yeah, okay, that does do that. You did sneak that paragraph in there, right? Got it. Okay. So that's cool. Yeah, I can definitely see that. And as soon as you said daddy, never mind. Oh man, maybe I shouldn't say that. But do you know Landon?
Yeah, dude. He that's the guy I'm talking about. He's one of them.
Okay. God, never mind. We're moving on then. I hate Landon. All right, let's go on.
No.
To the no, Landon's good. Landon's good. It's fine. It's just because of his untapped name being Land Daddy, dude. Like that's come on. What are you doing? If he watches up to this part, or if he's in the chat, I hope he just goes run into a wall or something. I don't know. Sequencing. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the cards that you want to see in Mulligan. Let's start there, and maybe the things that you want to do in the first couple turns and establish. I'm guessing Unison and other field cards, things like that. But what would you want to do?
Yeah, so for sure, like this is one of those Unison control decks. So you want to be mulliganing for your Unison or a way to get it. So if you don't have Unison, you want to have Berry Blue, and the deck's very reliant on self-awakening and drawing off your fields. Obviously against aggro, you might not like need to take life, but you want to have probably a New Ruler, which is probably your best one, or I'd say like Onslaught, which can help you play cards like Berry Blue for free, which then helps you get your Unison, and then you're Terrified, which is the other field card, which just takes a life, draw one. So those are probably the top 3, I'd say, is Berry Blue, Unison, and then one of those fields. And then so that'll be your turn 1 play. Usually you'll just drop Berry Blue or you drop one of the fields, just to self-awaken and draw. And then turn 2, you'll just drop your Unison. Usually, because you'll be at 4 life. If you know you're playing against aggro, they're gonna hit you. So no matter what, you're gonna be at 4 life. Or you're just self-awakening off your field. So then you drop your Unison, you play another field, and by that time you should be at 3 fields. So that way your Royal Supremacy negates online. So that way you're just beating like Weenie Rushes down, like you're just KOing their board. And then after that, like usually you're just playing your Berry Blues or your Paraguses or kind of your dual attack blockers. Anything that you can play off Onslaught is probably the biggest thing, because you want to get free play and you want to get advantage that way.
Gotcha.
And then turns 3 and 4 is when you have to think whether or not you need to drop that Frieza. Because if they have a board that like barrier or just annoying tall bodies, that Frieza is just gonna help you like get back in the game.
Right. You're talking about the blocker, right? The 20k?
Oh, sorry, the 5k.
Oh, the 5K.
Sorry, the 5 drop.
5 drop.
The 5
okay.
Yeah. So that Frieza is just insane. Like the thing about this deck is you don't care about tapping out half the time. Obviously against Mecha you have to be a little bit more smarter. But against any other deck, because you have so many like free negates, like you can use your energy like kind of, I'd say, like greedy. And like I would be dropping that Frieza turn 3 or 4 and just like removing their board, ripping their hand.
Yeah.
So and then like after that, sacking it, playing a Zamasu, swing, rip another card out of their hand.
Nice.
And so, and like if you're playing against Weenie Rush, obviously like you want to leave those energy open for like the cooler in the side, right? Or the King Cold pseudo topo negate. Or just like any of your cards actually cost energy, basically. But
yeah.
Half the time, that's basically your sequence. So you'll go turn 1 fields, Berry Blues, turn 2 Unison, more fields, and then turn 3 either Frieza, and then like turn 4 another Frieza, or having energy for your Boo SCR.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. So that's very helpful and very insightful. Kind of brings us to the matchups. So 5 rounds, do you believe? Swiss, best 3. How was that looking?
Oh man, so honestly, this was probably one of like it was my first event with the King Cold deck, and by far it was probably one of the funnest like events I've ever been to.
Oh, good.
Because like first of all my opponents were very nice.
That's the Vegas way, I guess. I mean, West Coast, you know, but yeah.
Yeah, West Coast. Honestly, West Coast, best coast.
Exactly.
But, yeah, like my round 1 opponent. What did I play against? Oh, I played one of these guys from Washington. I actually like buy cards off of him, so it was really funny meeting him in person and playing him round 1.
Nice.
He was on Dark Broly, which is usually like the deck's worst matchup, but he was playing a Gogeta variant, so I was able to like more capitalize on him just tapping out and like playing cards like that I can just easily get rid of.
Okay.
And just pushing it really hard, and then Big Amor obviously is just critical in that matchup. So I was able to get him. He was a very good player though, so it wasn't easy. But Boo SCR just came in clutch at the end too.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, and then round 2, I played against Vajex, which is I think another worst matchup for this. For like honestly, like any deck that can play the Migra and the new Gogeta in the same turn is just absurd. Like,
well.
So yeah, like, I mean, you have to hope that you have like charismatic and then some type of negate just to stop them, and then like having the Frieza in hand, the 5 drop is to get rid of like the other card. So that's usually what was going on in that matchup. Like I lost game 1 due to like 5k combo power. I think, and he was also a good player. He's I think he's from Cali. He's one of the sideboard gaming guys. They were really cool.
Okay.
But then games 2 and 3, I just kind of changed my game plan just to like rip their hand more and control board, and that's what I was doing. And like game 3, I was just able to boo SCR him for his last card in hand, which would have saved him, which was a negate, and then I just went from there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then obviously like you have cards like Dormant would kind of help for like the aggro push of the deck. You just stop them, you kill all their little Supreme Kais, which gives them all that combo power.
Mm-hmm.
And then round 3 was against, oh, shout out to Juha Bak. He was actually my only loss of the event. He was on King Vegeta.
Right.
And what's it called? Yeah, like honestly, when I said Kai SCR is one of the worst cards for this deck, like he literally dropped Kai SCR both games and just like I lost all of my advantage. Like he had no board, but like the fact that the deck, like that card just ruins your board for like 2 energy, it just sucks.
Right.
And that can spam a lot faster than you can. And I was just like, yeah, I just got like destroyed. But
right.
In retrospect, like if I played them again, I know I would just be a little bit more smarter. You want to keep your resources in hand if you know they play that card. And also obviously like the cooler in the side helps. But I mean, it is what it is. And that actually helped me going into my 4th round, which was another King Vegeta player. But he was playing like a heartfelt plea engine, which for you, it's actually better because they actually neg cards in hand, trying to get that engine off.
Yeah.
Like they'll combo Awakening or Death Ball, one of their cards, and they'll drop plea. So they're already -2, and then you just charismatic the plea, you crit the life, you don't care. And then you just start hand controlling them. You literally drop Frieza for 3, and you just start ripping their hand apart. And that's probably what got me the matchup.
Gotcha.
Was that aspect of it. Yeah, and then the last round was against Launch. So it was like a mono red Launch spam deck. And my opponent, he was probably my favorite opponent. We were just laughing the whole time, like just enjoying each other's decks. And then,
nice.
But the thing is, my deck, as you know, it just has a lot of good removal, and it's really good against weenies. And like the deck also has that unison removal off the invasion, right? It gives the leader double strike, and then you can sack it, rip a marker. So I was just always clearing his unisons, never really letting him have a board. So that's kind of what gave me the edge there. And he's actually the player I blue impulsed his SCR, which I mean felt great for me, but I think it felt bad for him. But
yeah, definitely.
So, yeah,
cool.
And that's what put me at a 2-1 record in the day. Yeah.
And then ended it. Okay, cool. All right. Pretty good adversity, if anything. 2 King Vegetas, if anything. But oh well. Not too bad. Not too bad. And closing thoughts then. We went through everything with your deck, the matchups, my Steam notifications that I'm gonna edit out apparently. And yeah, I mean, would you play this in another tournament in the future? Are you gonna wait until the ban list is out for the next set, that type of thing?
Yeah, so I think this deck is still a very strong contender. The only thing is, I think if people were maybe hopeful for green, I feel like a lot of people think it's not that good still. And that's probably why they're not playing the deck, or they think it's just not very strong against like hyper aggro. But the thing is, the deck has a lot of free negates, so I think I could still consider this deck being strong in the future.
Okay.
Yeah, like going tall decks like Dark Broly is Dark. The thing is, Dark Broly isn't very rampant. Or like very kind of like everywhere. So that's why people also like still aren't playing the deck. I don't know why, but I still think King Cole can be strong even with the ban list. As long as they don't hit green, right? That's what we were saying earlier.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And did you have any shout outs before we close it out?
Dude, yes. So first of all, I gotta shout out those daddies I told you.
Of course.
So Robert DeCoste, Landon Spilsbury, y'all the reason why this community in Arizona is still alive. Y'all the reason some of us have cards to play with. And of course, Alejandro, I haven't forgotten you. And then obviously my main testing partners, Alonzo Mesa, who's a very good Vegex player. And then my friend Christian, who's just very good with decks. And then everyone else, Nico, Daniel Dalby, congrats to him. He actually won the event with SS3.
Yep.
Goku, like no one thought that deck was gonna be a thing, but hey, here we are.
Yeah.
And then shout out to you, man, for letting me be on your video, and then shout out to my locals who's hopefully streaming this like I told him to.
Oh.
Snapcasters and
Nice.
Top Caliber Gaming. So yeah, cool. Oh, and of course my untapped partners, Aiden Azar in Texas, Brian,
of course,
Moises, Yannick in Peru.
Nice.
So, yeah, man.
Okay. Awesome. And yeah, no, thanks for taking the time out. I'm not gonna mention the circumstances that you're in to even do this. So, but thank you. I really do appreciate it. And just taking the time out just to talk and just have some fun and to even come. You know, our locals is really awesome. I love our community here in Vegas, and it's only gonna get better, hopefully. And hopefully we'll host another event so that way you can come down as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Let us know what you think in the comments below. I know we're live right now. You guys didn't know that. For those who made it all the way to the end of the video, but subscribe if you are new. Like, dislike, all the other stuff, man. Say bye for us, man. Say bye.
Hey guys, goodbye.
All right.